Hiya. Today I'm going to do a completely matte makeup. That is something that I very rarely do. I'm really not very much of a matte girl. But NARS have brought out a soft matte complete foundation. This is brand new from them, and I think NARS do complexion really, really well. So I just want to wear this for the day and see how it lasts and all of the rest of it. So I thought I'd use it in a video. And while I'm talking about matte things, I'm going to do like a nice neutral smoky eye, red lip, that kind of a thing. I thought I'd just share a few matte favourites in case you like a velvety skin finish. So just quickly, this Murad Oil and Pore Control Mattifier. If you're concerned about the appearance of your pores and you want to reduce the appearance of them, this is fantastic. I've just actually, to save a bit of time, applied it kind of on the chin, sides of the nose, in the middle of the forehead there, where I would notice the pores. I think there's a huge piece around pores that there needs to be a bit of an expectation management that we all have them and you're going to see them, and that is absolutely fine and absolutely normal. And, you know, I almost feel bad when people say, what can you do to reduce the appearance of pores? Because I'm thinking all our pores are going to be noticeable, and that is just the nature of our faces, really. But if you want to significantly reduce the appearance of that, and it also adds a very matte finish, this is fantastic. And also an exfoliant will really help to reduce the appearance of them as well. But anyway, I've been chatting for a very long time. I'm going to go in with the foundation. The shade I'm using is Valuris Medium 1.5. I've already spilt it on my hands. That was a fantastic start. I've got a tissue here. Now, what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to just start small and build it up. I'm actually going to work this in with my fingers. And the reason being, hopefully I've mentioned this before, but I always recommend that you have a look at the brand that you're choosing your foundation or whichever product it is from. And lots of them have different philosophies. So for example, NARS have actually designed their products to work really well with the hands. So I'm going to go in with hands because I know that's the way they like to encourage us to do it. I also watched like a little education video on this before I got started, again, to see if they had any tips or particular techniques that they said would work well. And what they recommended was warming it up with the warmth of your hands. So I've just got it there, no brushes necessary. Now, this is so alien to me because I never wear a matte finish of anything really. But it's nice to mix things up sometimes, isn't it? It feels beautiful. I only put that little bit on that you saw. Now, as you know, I do have redness. It's not that red today, I'm quite lucky. But what I'm going to do is just have a little look at my red areas afterwards and see if I might, I've got a few little pimples and things there. I'm not even chatting to you now, I've just zoned out doing my own thing. I'm going to leave that quite fresh. No, come on, I'll do a little bit on my nose. I'm always veering to the fresh kind of finish. I'm delighted with that. It doesn't feel dry or heavy. I'm going to wear it for the day and let you know how I get on. I will take a tiny bit across my eyes. I would have taken the end of that concealer. For argument's sake, I've got the soft matte concealer to hand. I'm going to just use a bit of that again on my finger. This concealer, as I say, again, is in this matte family. What I would say with this is anything matte under the eyes in particular, I try and steer away from because I'm quite dry under there. This is a lovely concealer if you want coverage down the centre of your face and you find that your makeup separates there. I remember years ago when this launched, Andrew Gallimore, fantastic makeup artist. If you're not following him already, he's really worth following. He does really bright makeups. Anyway, at the launch, he was there telling us about this. And he said it's really good to set your T-zone if you want an alternative to powder that still looks quite matte. I'm really happy with that. Okay, I'm going to let that sit. I'll powder up in a moment. I'm going to come back to, this is the Makeup by Mario eyeshadow palette, and this is some mattes. So I'm going to start with a nice wash of something neutral all over the lid on a fluffy brush. Now, another thing I kind of wanted to touch on today is a few little tips for a slightly hooded eye shape. Now, one of the things I think it's really important to bear in mind is don't feel like you have to colour within the lines of your eye shape or anywhere in your makeup. You've seen how I do my lips. I really kind of plump up the outer corners, which I will do in this video, provided I get a move on and get my makeup on. I'm going to do the same with my eyes. I'm taking this soft, creamy wash all over the lids. That's quite invisible really, and it's also going to help me to set that concealer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another, I want a really fluffy brush for this, brilliant, a MAC 224. Moira said to me yesterday, you've forgotten to tell us the names of the brushes, and I will remember. That was the It Cosmetics Superhero Shadow Brush. I've got my MAC 224. I'm going to go in first of all with a little soft brown, and I'm going to take this through almost a line above the crease. So if I was to drop my eye there, I'm going to quite frown so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going above that crease. So even if I pull a really stroppy face, you can still see this brown. So I'm going to take this soft brown all the way through a little contour of the eye there and almost go a bit above it. And I kind of want to keep this quite soft and looking quite blown out. I've brought in a lovely kind of Christmassy red, neutrals for the eyes. I'm still doing I'm basically stringing a load of colours together for a little TikTok. Honestly, like, can you imagine every single day doing a different makeup for the sake of stringing together a 10-second video at the end of the week? If you think I've absolutely lost my marbles, I think I agree with you. But anyway, we're all just doing little things to keep ourselves entertained at the moment, aren't we? Let's be honest. Okay, now that I've built that up, I'm on 8 minutes. I need to speed this up. I'm now going to, that looks a bit messy to me, but it's going to look fine when I pull it together. I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. I'm going to take the same kind of brown and just really gently trace the outer edge of that eye so that it almost sweeps, I mean, I really am losing it today, aren't I? I want to match that lash line just out to the corner of this little contour shade. Now, the nice thing I think with mattes is if you're in any way struggling with shapes or wanting things to look nice and you're just a bit frightened of them, they're so easy to buff out and soften. As you can see, what I'm doing here, I'm essentially putting the colour on, softening it down, and then I'm going to use this as a template and take small brushes to make it deeper and deeper when I get into this outer corner. So I'm going back in with my blending brush to kind of marry those colours a little bit more. You can see it's kind of giving my eye a bit of a kicked shape, and now I'm going to intensify those kicks, going in with a slightly deeper brown, even closer to the lash line, and then I'm going to kick that out with a fluffy brush in just a moment. I'm going to place the colour there ready to be buffed, And another nice thing about going in with powder mattes is that you've got all the time in the world to work with them. Because if this was cream, for example, I'd need to be working really quickly here before everything's set. But I can take my time. I mean, I can't take my time because I want my video to be done in 15 minutes. But you know what I mean? When you're getting ready, you can just chill out and build it at your own pace. You know, you could absolutely answer your phone, go make a cup of tea, answer the door, whatever it might be, and this would not be impacted in any way. I'm going to take a tiny brush and some black and do a third layer, even smaller, just that outer corner, really gently. This is a great option for you if you're a little bit worried about liners. See how we have got a whole flick effect going on here. And I mean, that's a bit blurry. There's hardly any shadow there, but you're not going to see me up close. You're going to see me from there and it's going to look great. Now, let's get a move on before I do anything else. Going in with a little bit of, oh no, I'm not going to go in with this. Do you know what I'm going to go in with? I tried this yesterday. Trish McAvoy Brow Perfector. One of the best products I've probably found this year. It's essentially a stick of wax. And if you like that really brushed up, bushy kind of brow finish, that's what it's going to give you. And it just slicks them into place. It's a really, really clever, simple, looks like you've got nothing on brow product. I'm so glad I remembered this. I actually sat down ready to start and then I was like, where's that Trish McAvoy stuff? I'd put it back in the cupboard. I absolutely loved this yesterday. Okay, I'm going to go in with some mascara and speed this up so I can get my red lipstick on. While I'm putting my mascara on, I'm just going to talk you through. I'm going to take a tiny bit, just a tiny bit of mattifying setting powder, just so that if this foundation is still tacky in any way, I will have made it nice and velvety. I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer on top of that, just to warm everywhere else up. I'm going to show you a gorgeous highlighter that is great if you want a glow and don't want to look like a glitter ball. And then I'm going to do a nice bright red lip in the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That will be quite the turnout for the books. Okay, super gentle layer of powder here. A, because it's got a matte finish, this foundation anyway, going in with a bit of Dull Beauty bronzer here. And B, because I don't want to, I almost like when I'm trying a new foundation to not put too much over it so I can tell the lasting power, the wear. You know, for example, if I found through the day that that went really oily, I would know for next time to put more powder on. Do you know? But anyway, nice bit of bronze to just warm everything up. This is the Hourglass Incandescent Strobe Light. Lovely option for you if you want those points of high and low in your skin, but you don't necessarily want glitter. Now that looks really, really radiant in this lighting, but honestly, in person, you would be forgiven for thinking it wasn't there. If you want to highlight that area of your face as well and you find that you have some finer lines in that area, this is a nice one to help you achieve that won't sit in any little lines. I've got such little hair at my nose that is itching me, but we've only got 50 seconds to go, so I'm going to do this. Now, liner going on. I'm going to plump up the upper lip. I'm going to try and correct this with my lipstick. This is a lovely Lancome Christmassy matte red. And in case I don't get to say see you tomorrow for another colourful video.